welcome. It's nice to have you on this special occasion. This week, we are celebrating one of the biggest under-18 boys and girls football tournament that, of course, is culminating in the finals this Friday at the Ulinzi Sports Complex, Langata in Nairobi County, where we already have 8 teams that have, of course, been drawn from Marsabit County, from Homa Bay County, from Kilifi County, from Nairobi County. Then now we have the big grand finale this Friday at Ulinzi. I cannot wait to see the talent of the boys and girls on this particular day. And of course, in this regard, we are very honored on this particular show to have His Excellency Dr. Christian Fellner, who is the Austrian ambassador to Kenya. Christian, welcome. Doctor, it's good to see you. It's good to have you on this show. Thank you for making time.
Thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure.
Asante san. We also have the engine, the grinding big stone of this Europe Day Kenya football tournament. The people behind the hands, the legs, the minds behind the Europe Day Kenya football tournament. That is the Akakoro Football Academy. They're the ones, of course, who have been running this tournament from the start till now, where we headed to Ulinzi Stadium. And of course, we are hoping he'll be here to answer us and tell us whether we'll be having it next year in 2025. He'll be, of course, to share. That is the CEO, Lucas Mott. Karibu sana. It's good to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Welcome. And of course, as you can see on this table, and of course on this, we have 2 pots. Remember, we have 8 teams. So 4 girls teams and 4 boys teams. Under 18. They have qualified for the grand finale. We are doing the draw. Thank you for that idea, CEO.
No problem.
Well done.
We have a real Champions League draw now here.
We have a real Champions, of course, League draw that will be happening later on this show. But of course, let's get into it on this particular show. Ambassador, I've seen Ambassador, then I've seen Doctor. My viewers will be very curious to know about you. Please.
Thank you very much. Now, I mean, there's a long and a short answer. The short answer is that many of my colleagues have doctor's degrees. You found that in my CV, but I don't believe that it is particularly special.
It is.
However, I'm not a medical doctor. I studied psychology and law. But we do have a medical doctor in our foreign service, indeed. We actually have an Egyptologist. We have a good colleague who is a history of law expert. And a musicologist. We have lawyers, we have sociologists, we have political scientists, and lately a technician joined our foreign service. So you see that there are many paths to become an ambassador.
Well done. I'll go and improve my degree. I'm only having my degree, but now you've challenged me to go also get higher grades for this. Thank you for challenging me, Your Excellency. CEO, you're a sports science expert. You're a football coach. Formerly, you've also worked with the Barcelona Football Club in Spain. You are a project management expert. Akakoro must be lucky to have you.
I hope that they feel that way. The last 3 years since I'm here in Nairobi have been tremendous, and we've made a tremendous improvement towards our goals. Yes. So I hope that I can contribute at least a little bit to rise the Kenyan football.
Definitely, for the last 3 years, we've definitely seen the impact of Akakoro Football Academy. Please keep up with that. And Ambassador, also just to bring in you now, at least we know something about you. Some of the 5 things that Kenyans need to know about Austria.
Well, actually, there would be a lot to know about Austria, but the most important thing, I guess, is that we are not Australia.
Yes,
I have basically every week the problem that my Australian colleague gets our mail and we get his. Yes. So many people confuse us with Australia. Austria is in the heart of Europe, in the middle of Europe. We have a very long history, and in particular, we have a particularly long tradition in international law. So we are very interested in active multilateralism. Nairobi is one of the seats of the United Nations, so that's important for us. We believe in the rule of law, also in international law, and we are a neutral country.
Yes.
And that means that we have a certain comparative advantage, if you so will, in mediating between conflicting parties, because we are not so big as that anybody would fear a bias. And then Austria is very mountainous. We are known for our ski resorts, for the snow, for snowboarding. We are a very touristic country, just like Kenya, by the way. Kenya earns a lot of money, about 10% of its gross national product from tourism, and so does Austria. So we have beautiful landscape. We love our traditions, our music, our clothing, by the way. We have traditional clothing. The way we prepare our food. So I would say that's in a nutshell.
How is the weather today? Just before I bring in you, how is the weather right now? As you can see right now.
Yeah, the weather at the moment it's okay, but you know this is one of the tricky things when Kenyans come to Austria. They sometimes suffer from, because Nairobi really is very blessed when it comes to weather. I mean, that's marvelous here. It's very changey. So in winter it's cold, in summer it may be hot. So.
Would you advise me to go there right now, fly there right now from my warm kind
May
of
is May is a good time to travel to Austria. It's not too hot and already warm enough to be in a shirt on the street. Yeah.
Good. Well done. Then I'll be coming for that visa. CEO, let me just specifically go in this. Now, 11 years Akakoro has been in existence. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
But you formed Akakoro Football Academy, formed in 2013. And I mean, the successes of impacting the boys and the girls, I can imagine the numbers that have gone through your academy. How has that journey been? I'm sure you found it and then they handed over to you. How has it been? How many? And of course, you do this with the underprivileged areas in Nairobi.
Yeah, I know that 11 years ago when Akakoro was founded, there were huge challenges, from infrastructure, where do we even start? But also which children can we support, how many can we support? And I think I was told by our founder that the first scouting day was attended by over 4,000 children and they only had 18 scholarships available. So I think those were one of the main challenges, and it's just a drop on the hot stone, but we try to, work with the children that are right now in our program. We have boys and girls.
Yes.
From day one on, it was very important for us to also empower girls through football. And I can say one of our girls, of our graduates, is playing in Austria since 2 years in the Austrian Bundesliga. And living there since 2 years. So that's one of the successes we have. In 2015, our boys, the under-11 boys, defeated FC Barcelona. Yep. I think it's widely known in Kenya.
Yep.
A year later, they won against Atletico Madrid. So I think it's a light tower project when it comes to efficient talent development. And I think we have quite some things in the pipe.
Well done, of course. And above, you've above over 500 children, I'm just reading through your website, over 500 children are gone through that academy. Are the numbers still there like that, or you intend to improve or increase those kind of numbers?
Of course, we want to increase those numbers. Yeah. And speaking about successes, it's not only about the silverware, it's about the impact that we have on the lives of these young people. Many of them are now earning their money in football, playing in the Kenya Premier League, playing abroad, playing in NSL or somewhere like that. But also many of them are making money and supporting their families and communities through jobs that they have learned, the vocational training, for example, that we offer through the education that we gave them. I'm very proud. This year we have our first graduate from University of Nairobi in science, chemistry. So I would say that football should not outshine the efforts that we have in education.
Yes.
And it is not football or education, it is football and education going hand in hand. And that's why what we try to make our children and the communities understand that they don't have to choose between education and football.
Wow, wow, well done. I know I've interacted with Akakoro before in the 2010s and all that, back in the day when you're still a new baby born in my previous workstation. So definitely you're doing a very good job from the feedback that we as journalists are getting on the ground.
Thank you.
So good job, keep it up. I heard the other day the governor of Homa Bay, Her Excellency Gladys Wanga, speaking highly about Akakoro, and I'm sure you already have a lot of links in Homa Bay, or you're creating links in Homa Bay. So I'm sure you'll be improving that with time. But
we're actually building a football academy in Homa Bay.
Tell us
Yes.
more. It's something that the governor there mentioned, Gladys Wanga, Her Excellency. Tell us more about
So last year we entered into an MOU with the county government of Homa Bay, and we are now constructing the first residential football academy in the whole East African region. There are quite some like this in Western Africa, but it will be the first one in East Africa. And we intend to open it by September this year. So it will be a combination of people, of students living there. We will have dormitories, of going to school. We will have our own school, and playing football. We will have 2 football fields and later on more. So it will be the combination of all of that, and it will be a talent hub in the region. And not only for our current children or children from Homa Bay, but it will be open for talents of the whole East African community. And we hope that sooner or later one of our graduates, or a lot of our graduates, will be the face of the Harambee Stars, bringing them to the World Cup.
Wow, we are looking forward to that. And of course, remember, Kenya is hosting the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. That's like the European Euros in a bit. So well done for actually starting to put up those roots already. I heard, of course, the governor there mentioned that, and that caught my attention. I was very excited because the schools there perform very well. The schools like Kobala, girls, Ringa boys, of course, who won the Europe Day, who, of course, should be amongst these in the pots of this draw that you're doing today. So well done on that. Ambassador, what are some of the major, of course, just as you mentioned, if Akakoro is in Homa Bay, definitely there's a lot of partnerships already. That's a partnership with the county government of Homa Bay. But what are some of the major areas of collaboration and partnerships between Kenya and Austria? Now, of course, that we already even have football going on, of course, and also the personal development of our young boys and girls.
Well, I already mentioned the tourism sector. Kenya is a tourism expert, Austria is a tourism expert, and it's a very natural way of partnering because we are not competitors. Austria doesn't have lions nor elephants, and Kenya lacks the Alps, and you don't have ski resorts. Yes. So that's very good to collaborate without being competitors. When it comes to university cooperation, there are quite a number of Kenyans who have gone to our world-class tourism schools in tourism and hotel management, but also to other courses in Austria. On several occasions, I have brought Austrian professors for guest lectures to Kenya. On several places. So we collaborate with the University of Nairobi, with the United States International University, with the Catholic University of Eastern Africa, just to name a few. And then one very important and upcoming field of cooperation is the labor migration, because as you might know, Europe is lacking skilled labor, and many countries of Europe are trying to source skilled labor in Africa. Africa seems to be the workforce supplier for the 21st century. So we are working closely with the Kenyan government on this. And of course, in business and economics, we are also very active. We recently signed a financial cooperation agreement which offers 40 million euros, which Austrian companies are going to invest within the next years in this beautiful country. Yes. For example, in the energy sector. Renewable energy is often considered, has often to do with solar, but we are particularly strong in the hydro part. So whenever there is water flowing, there is energy in the water, and we are very good in getting that hydropower out of the water. So there is a lot of things going on, and Kenya being a very open country, it makes it easy for us.
And of course, I read somewhere, or I just understood that the things that we have in our phones, those parts that we use for our phones are from Austria.
Depending on which phone you have, that is the microphones may be from Austria because we produce simply the best quality. Yeah? Austria does not have one particular line of production like other countries have, like Ghana produces cocoa and Ethiopia produces coffee. By the way, Kenya as well, of course. Yeah. We have a lot of different products, but we always look at the highest quality end. Our products are flying to the Mars at the moment in a satellite. So yes, if you have an expensive smartphone, chances are that the microphone is from Austria.
Do I need to show my which one? which Austrian parts have? Does it have any Austrian parts?
There is a highly likelihood that there are Austrian parts in there, yes, because as I said, if somebody tries to produce real good quality, then they will also, most probably look at Austria, because it's for a long term. You know, our things we don't run away. You know, we don't produce things and then they're gone. We have trust is the most important natural resource in this world, and if you treat with Austrians, you can trust that they are going to deliver the quality that you need.
Good, well done. Of course, I'm assured that I'm okay now that Austria is right here with me. I'm sorted, of course. Let me bring Akakoro Football Academy. You've set up football infrastructure, like multi-purpose, just the same way you've mentioned about Homa Bay. You've done the same across different underprivileged areas in Nairobi. How is that going so far?
Here we have partnerships with different outreach programs and also with the Kenya Academy of Sports, where we share our professional expertise, and we try to help and come in when it comes to equipment and all that kinds of stuff. But especially knowledge transfer is very important for us. Last year we were training over 25 coaches in the FC Barcelona methodology. That's something that I have learned in my time in Spain, so I want to share that with the coaches here. And I know many coaches have been trained in the Dutch system here, so it's kind of similar, yeah, but still a bit different. This capacity building is something that we do a lot with our partners.
Well done, well done. You have a beautiful story, Akakoro Football Academy. Thank you really for keeping up on that. If you're joining us, this is a special show on this occasion, and we are celebrating. Remember, May is a special month for the European Union, especially May the 9th, where the European Union celebrates Europe Day. And that's why this year, from March, the European Union, in partnership with Akakoro Football Academy and the 27 member states, kick-started a beautiful under-18 boys and girls tournament known as the Europe Day Kenya Football Tournament. So that's what the discussion we about. And remember, the finals are this Friday at Ulinzi Sports Complex. Now, you need to carry your national ID for you to gain access into the stadium. Entry is free. if a minor has to come to this event and they are welcome, those under 18 years old, they have to be accompanied by an adult who has to have a national ID. So you are welcome, and everybody in your village, in Korogosho, in Mukuru kwa Njenga, and of course that's where all parts of Nairobi, all parts of Kenya, all from wherever you actually welcome to come and watch these top talents that have been fished from Homa Bay, Marsabit, Kilifi, and of course here in the capital. Now there's a call to action. My director, of course, has a call to action. There's a call to action by Her Excellency European Union Ambassador to Kenya, that is Henriette Geiger, who is requesting you on Friday to come to Ulinzi Sports Complex in Lang'ata, that is in Nairobi County. From 12 p.m. the gates will be open at Ulinzi on Friday, this Friday, so you are welcome. And for you to have a chance to win, in fact, you will win. You are part of the people who will win. Besides the boys and girls winning, definitely you as a fan who will be spectating in the stands will win. So there are prizes. I understand the European Union, all the member states have specific prizes for all of you. Now, some of you will get beautiful jerseys. Some of you will get good footballs. Some of you will get good scarves. Some will get good hampers. Some of you will win a stay at a beautiful hotel in Nairobi, a stay at a beautiful hotel in Mombasa, a stay wherever. Some will win you tickets to go to Brussels in Belgium. There's a lot of prizes for you. All you need to do is send the name Europe Day to the number, the WhatsApp number that you see on your screen. You cannot get this kind of stuff anywhere else, only here on TV47. And in that regard, just before I bring in His Excellency Doctor, together with the CEO, we managed to talk to one of Austria's top defenders. Specifically, I call him a centre-back. Who plays in France, one of the top teams in France. He's known as Kevin Danso. Now let's listen in. Kevin Danso had a very special message for the boys and girls who are participating in this tournament.
Dear footballers in Kenya, my name is Kevin Danso, footballer for the French side RC Lens and for the Austrian national team. You are the future of this great sport, and I would like to share with you a few words of encouragement and inspiration. Each and every one of you has a deep and unwavering love for the game of football. The passion is what drives us each and every day to reach new heights and new limits. Never lose that fire, the burning desire to be the best. It's a foundation on which champions are built. Success in football or in any endeavor doesn't come easy. It requires unwavering dedication, relentless hard work, and an uncompromising commitment to the sport to be excellent. There will be challenges, there will be setbacks, but I really urge you never to give up. Embrace the grind, embrace the journey, and just know with each obstacle that comes, you will get stronger, you will be stronger, and you will continue to fight for your dream. You all have talent, you all have skill, you all have the potential to achieve greatness. But talent alone is not enough. You must have confidence, you must believe in yourselves, and you must give it your all to push past your perceived limits. When the going gets tough, and it will, just remember, you have what it takes to succeed.
Kevin Danso, centre-back, defender, RC Lens, Australia national team. Your Excellency, Doctor, is Australia a footballing country?
Do you want to cut that out?
No, Your Excellency, my viewer would like to know, as much as I've seen the talent, they would like to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Okay, well, Austria has a long history in football. We have, many years ago, more than 80 years ago, we have achieved enormous successes up to the finals in the World Cup.
Yes.
And lately, our football becomes better and better.
Yes.
And that has to do with professionally organized youth football academies that are organized throughout the countries by our clubs in the Bundesliga. We have had success of our under-19 UEFA Youth League in 2017, and we also reached the finals there in 2022.
Yes.
And we actually do have a number of great football players. One of them we just heard, Kevin Danso, from RC Lens. We have Marko Arnautovic from Inter Milano. We have David Alaba, also with an African migration background, by the way, from Real Madrid. We have, particularly in the German Bundesliga, we have a number of Austrians because we speak the same language, so it makes it easy. But we also have great trainers. Adi Hütter at AS Monaco, Ralf Hasenhüttl at VfL Wolfsburg, Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace in the Premier League. So there are trainers from my country in the top European teams.
Well done. Thank you for answering my question, Your Excellency. But of course, Lucas, you've heard from the ambassador, all these star players, Danso being one of them. Akakoro is also in the same business. You had earlier started mentioning about some of the ones who were in Kenya who were already in Austria. Maybe you might want to say that so that people can understand it, because people think you just train Kenyan footballers, then that's it. You also give them an opportunity to go and explore and express their talent outside.
Yeah, because talent development, as any development, is holistic, or should be seen as holistic. We cannot train the kids for 10 or 12 years in our academy, and once they reach the age of 18, we say, so that's it, and you go your ways.
No, they shouldn't.
I think many of our players would be surprised to know how many plans and how often we talk about them in our offices, and that most probably for every player we already have a long-term plan in mind. So a holistic and long-term talent development needs time. Yeah? So you follow a player from the age of 7 until he's maybe 14, 15, 16, because those are very decisive years. You will, as hard as it may sound, but you will most probably not make it as a professional footballer in the top 5 leagues in Europe if you are still playing football in Kenya at the age of 17, 18. So our approach is we scout the players here very young, we train them, we give them the proper education that a footballer also needs. Nowadays, coaches play very interesting and complex tactics, and you need to have smart players for it to understand, so they also need to be learned people. And then we create pathways for them to get trials in Europe. Just in April, I was 3 weeks in Austria with 2 of my players. They have been at an Austrian club called Grazer AK, and they had the chance for a football exchange program there. So they were 12 years old. They cannot have a trial at that age. It's not allowed, but it's an exchange program where they learn about the cultures of Austria, but in the setting of football. So they had football training. They were even allowed to play a tournament in Croatia. So they really got that exposure. And for those 2 players, for example, we have very precise long-term plans on how to develop their skills and their talent, so that one day we will see them Saturday, Sunday afternoon playing maybe in the Premier League or Bundesliga. That's the way we go about talent development. It's not the short-term return of investment. It's always a long-term thing.
Well done, of course. And I know Akakoro, correct me if I'm wrong, CEO, Akakoro comes from Academy of Korogosho.
Korogosho, yes.
That was, of course, the initial.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, why I bring in Ambassador. How come you decided to sponsor a grassroots football academy in Kenya?
Well, actually, this makes a lot of sense. It may not be self-understanding, but it makes a lot of sense, and I can tell you why. One, it was created by an Austrian, Helmut Kögelberger. This name is still well known in Austria, although he unfortunately passed away in 2018. He was the son of an American African US soldier in the Second World War and an Austrian mother. And he came from a relatively poor setting, but he ended up being in our national team and even captaining the national team in the 1970s. So he was very well known at that time. He's still known now. He was known for his famous way of playing and of scoring goals. Yeah. And after ending his career, he started working in several youth departments of clubs. Yes. And when he finally retired, he chose to create Akakoro here in Kenya. Also to give young people with a humble background a chance to be, on the one hand, academically trained, on the other hand, professionally trained. And this always comes together at Akakoro. So you are not allowed to train with them if you don't go to school. So this is a good thing because...
if you miss school in the morning, you will also miss training because you have tutoring with our tutors. Wow. So there's no way that you miss on education.
Good. And today Akakoro is a very good, well-known sports for development project, and we are very proud as an embassy of this, because this sports activity helps develop the character of the young people very much. It is good for their bodies, but also good for their minds.
That's very true indeed, Ambassador. And that's, of course, where I also bring in where you had earlier shared how the under-11 team, that was in 2015 and 2016, were in Austria, beat Barcelona, the real Barcelona under-11 in 2015. That was in 2015, right? Then beat in 2016, beat Atletico Madrid, under-11. What's the secret?
I think the secret is when we talk about sports science volume. Yeah, the players here have football and only football. They love it. The people are so passionate about football. Many children in Europe, you have to force basically to go to the football field. Yeah?
Yes.
And also the infrastructure here forces you to develop some technique that you don't develop on a good training field. Let me say it like this. So we have the paradox that until under 12, under 13, our teams are world class and could possibly beat any team in the world, because we train 6 to 7 times a week. We have the best youth coaches in the country. We have a proper philosophy, and then in sports science, it's about volume. The more you train, the better you will get, of course. Yeah?
That's true.
So we can offer the kids this volume here, plus they have the passion. A problem for not only for us, but for many people I have spoken with, and also for the country, is conserving that talent once the children go into puberty, because of various different reasons. I wrote a scientific paper about that, why or what kind of reasons there are. But one reason, for example, is lack of proper infrastructure. You cannot train complex tactics on the bumpy field, so you can never know these tactics. So you never can compete with teams that have these tactics. Then, of course, here you use in class 8 and in form 4, you're sitting in school from morning till evening, very late, and you have no time for sport, so you lose 2 years in your talent development, basically. Also, coming back to the infrastructure, you don't have training lights. The children cannot go home too late, so it's quite multifactorial reasons why we still struggle. And this is exactly what we want to target at our Homer Bay project where we can combine a solution for all those issues.
Oh, indeed. If you're joining us, I'm joined, of course, with the Austrian ambassador to Kenya, His Excellency Dr. Christian Fellner, together with the CEO of Akakoro Football Academy, that is Lucas Mott. They're here to share this beautiful and shed light on this beautiful tournament, the inaugural tournament of the Europe Day Kenya Football Tournament, where the finals will be at Ulinzi. Personally, I am ready. Shoes set, socks set, everything ready. I'll be looking like a true Europe Day footballer on that day. I'm even challenging His Excellency also to, but he's keeping it a secret because he wants to surprise us. It's okay. We'll also surprise you with our own.
Very good.
Indeed. Of course, just before I bring in the ambassador to share later on, of course, about the significance of sports in development of a child, I also managed to ask Kevin Danso, the Austrian national football team defender or centre-back, to share some very motivating and inspiring words to our young boys and girls who will be in the finals of this event, and also the other 32, the other teams that didn't make it but participated in this event. And this is what Kevin Danso had to share with us.
Football is a team sport. No one succeeds alone. Learn to be a great teammate, to lift each other up, develop leadership skills to inspire those around you and your teammates. Together, you will accomplish far more than you would ever alone. Enjoy the process, savor every moment, and never take anything for granted. The road ahead may be long and challenging, but if you stay true to yourself, if you remain focused and determined, I have no doubt that you will achieve your dreams. My friends, the future of football is in your hands. Now go out there and show the world exactly what you can do. I believe in you, and I know with your commitment and your passion, you guys will soar to extreme new heights. Develop discipline, teamwork, how to handle pressure, to make quick decisions, to work towards a common goal, many physical benefits. Football brings us joy. Experience the thrill of competition. Take it from me, someone who's been able and lucky enough to turn my passion into a career. Take it from me, somebody who's been lucky enough to make my passion into a career since I was a kid. Best of luck on your football journey.
Thank you, Kevin Danso, for really sharing those inspiring words to our boys and girls. I wish you talked to me when I was still 16 years old, but it's okay. I'll be 16 years old at Ulinzi Sports Complex on the 17th, this Friday. So those words will come in, of course, handy at that time. But of course, for our young boys and girls in the Europe Day, of course, thank you really for sharing your inspirational word. Your Excellency, we have the Euro 2024. And I have seen, of course, as we almost wind up and get into the draw, let me just read the draw. Austria is playing against France in Group D, Poland, Netherlands. Any hopes in Euro 2024 and the Paris Olympics?
We always have hope. And of course, this is the good thing in sports. It's not always the favorites that win. However, we are a little bit unlucky because some of our key players are injured at the moment. David Alaba, I've mentioned him before. He has also an African migration background. He will not be able to participate. Xaver Schlager got an injury and is out. Even one of our number one goalkeepers got injured. So it's a little bit a tricky situation, but we are already proud and happy that we made it into the UEFA Euro 2024. So
let's hope for the best.
Exactly.
Team Austria. But well done, of course, you've been very key. I know some of your popular sports, skiing, soccer, ice hockey, handball, tennis, basketball, cycling, athletics, volleyball, motorsports, Niki Lauda.
Yeah, unfortunately he passed away, but yes.
Yeah, well, of course, and gymnastics and all those, some of your popular sports that are there. Lucas, just as we wind up before we get into this now, the Europe Day, you are the engine. Just as the ancient Saturday, you are the engine of the Europe Day Kenya Football Tournament. 32 teams, boys, 32 girls teams, 64 in total. Marsabit, all these counties. What next for them? Because you see, after the finals on Friday, they're like, okay, I'll go to Romania, I'll go to Gor Mahia, I'll go to AFC.
I think we already have some very interesting players in our books that we will definitely follow up. Some of the players will go to Romania, as you've already mentioned. The winning teams, boys and girls, for a training camp. I think that's an amazing opportunity for them, and where they can, expose themselves to the talent scouts over there. But nonetheless, we also have our eyes on them, and we want to create pathways for them where it's possible, and most likely can create scholarship opportunities for them so that it has a long-lasting effect on the players. Because, as I mentioned before, talent development is always a long-term way of thinking. And for the winners, yes, they might have won, but it is just the start. No one is interested if they won the Europe Day Kenya tournament 10 years later. We are then interested, why aren't you playing in the Champions League final? Why aren't you playing in the AFCON or wherever? So for them, I want to somehow motivate them, wish them all the best for the finals, but they always have to keep in mind, every day it's a new start, and they are just at the beginning of their careers and of their journeys. So, and we hope for that the best wins, and that we can identify some really good talent over there.
For sure, indeed. Thank you, Lucas Mott, CEO, Akakor Football Academy. Your Excellency, just as Lucas prepares these 2 pots so we can do our draw, our Champions League draw, you might share into how Austria has benefited from the European Union. Of course, Africa, we're trying to have our own union, but how has Austria benefited from the European Union as Lucas prepares these lovely pots? I'm ready with the pen.
How long do you want the answer? Because this would need about 2 hours to go anywhere near to how important the relevance is for Austria of the European Union. Well, let's summarize what the European Union is. First and foremost. It's at its core, it's a peace project. It was created after the Second World War in a war-torn continent to bring together what was enemies before. And today, they are friends. Today, they are cooperating. And this is actually a key to get rid of the ghost of the past. But it's also an enormous success from an economic point of view. Now, let us think about that. If you have the map of Europe in somewhere in your mind, if somebody from Portugal wants to work for somebody in Finland, for a company in Finland, that these parts are 4,000 kilometers apart, and it would just mean a phone call. They just have to agree on a language they would work with, which could be English, but for the more Romanic countries, it could be French or Spanish. And that's it. We have full freedom of people. But also a Finnish company could send their products to Portugal, and there would be no roadblocks, no tariffs, nothing to be paid. They have just to agree on the price, and then the goods come. So we have the freedom of people, we have the freedom of the goods, we have the freedom of the capital. If you want to finance that, any bank can offer you, as long as a company is allowed to offer something in one place, it is allowed to offer that in all places in the European Union. And when it comes to Africa, that is an enormous advantage if this model would be followed. We are absolutely sure that the EAC, the East African Community, when it's really working, will be of enormous advantage to people. Not only will they have the opportunity to work wherever they want, they will have the possibility to send their goods or bring their goods in without having any, let's say, paperwork to do, which in turn will make the goods cheaper for the customers, right? Because it will be easier to make business, and that makes it more efficient. We have profited enormously, the Austrians, and this is why other countries want now also to become a member of the European Union, and we are negotiating with a number of countries, but it takes time because it's an enormous effort.
True. Yeah. Very true. Austrian ambassador to Kenya, His Excellency Dr. Christian Fellner, of course, and CEO of Akakoro Football Club, Lucas Mott. It is now time to know who will be in the finals. Of course, I know they're starting with the semis and then going to the finals. These are two pots.
Yes.
Or whatever, basins, buckets. I don't know how Austrians call buckets or basins or pots.
Yeah, we would call it a pot, yes.
Okay, all right. I will leave it to you. In the next about 2 minutes, we can just now do our draw. I will be taking notes because we will be creating this graphic to show.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll not look. I'm saying I'll
Start
be
with the
totally
girls.
blind.
Oh, the girls is
totally
well.
blind.
Okay,
Yes.
the girls.
So I'll take one,
Okay.
Yes.
and then we hold it into the camera.
Yes, the camera. Yes, there we are. That is Kobala. Kobala girls.
Okay.
That's Kobala girls. That is from
Participant.
Homa Bay. All right.
Another one.
Then we have, that is Dakabaricha. Dakabaricha, that is from Marsabit County. Dakabaricha from
Yes.
Marsabit County. That should
That's
be
the
the
first
semi-final.
First semi-final.
So first semi-final girls, Kobala and
think
Dakabaricha.
Now it's
Then
very clear.
this is the boys.
not option.
This is another girls. This is a
This
girl.
is girls, the second
Dagoretti,
final.
Dagoretti mixed.
Yes.
Okay.
Dagoretti,
And there's only one left, so
This
nothing
will
to
be
choose
against
from.
Cachororoni from Coast.
Yes.
Roroni. So we have Dagoretti mixed
Okay.
from Nairobi
wonderful.
versus Cachororoni from Coast.
The other
That
part.
is the
Yes.
semi-final.
Now
So
we move to the
we
boys.
go to the boys. This is the draw for the final of the Europe Day.
Again,
Kenya
I don't look. I don't even know what's in there.
What's happening?
I hope I find one. Yeah.
The papers
Okay.
are not warm, so they're okay. So we have Ringa boys from Homa Bay. That is the first team. They will be playing against, now remember, these are the semi-finals before the
So-
finals. So Ringa boys will take on
This way?
Gadamoji of Marsabit. So we have Ringa
Okay.
versus Gadamoji, the first semi-final in the boys category. Then we have, this is Highway Secondary School, Nairobi County. That is the boys category.
And there's only one left, so nothing to choose from.
It will be against Mkongani of Mombasa or Coast. Okay, rather Kilifi, sorry.
Kilifi County.
Yes, Kilifi County. So already we have the matchups, and we, of course, done by the Austrian ambassador to Kenya, witnessed by the CEO of Akakoro Football Academy, that is Lucas Mott. In the girls category, Kobala from Homa Bay in the first semi-final against Dakabaricha of Marsabit County, the first semi-final. The next semi-final in the girls category, Dagoretti mixed against Kachororoni. Dagoretti is Nairobi, Kachororoni is from Kilifi County in the next semi-final. Now, in the boys category, we have the first semi-final. Ringa boys will be up against Gadamoji. Ringa is from Homa Bay, Gadamoji is from Marsabit. The next semi-final, Highway, will be playing against Mkongani in the next semi-final. So semi-finals are starting.
The semi-finals are starting in the morning, and the finals will start from 2 p.m.
There you have it. 12 p.m. Your national ID if you're above 18. If you're below 18, come with your guardian or somebody above 18-year-olds. Remember, it is free of charge, and you only need your national ID to gain access to Ulinzi Sports Complex in Langata in Nairobi. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Dr. Christian Fellner.
It was a great pleasure for me.
It's an honor, really, to host you on the show. Thank you so much, CEO Akakoro Football Academy. That is, of course, Lucas Mott. And well done to this well-organized Europe Day Kenya Football Tournament. We are looking forward to more Europe Days because there are more 9th of May in the coming years.
Thank
of course,
you so much.
That's where we wind up this particular show. Thank you for watching. See you at Ulinzi Sports Complex. Over and out.